Welcome to this video. In this video, I'll show you how to create an automatic refund scenario for any kind of subscriptions that you might have, for any kind of services. Let's say that you have a SaaS service, or let's say that you have some other sort of subscription for your content or something like that. And I'm going to show you how to put together a scenario that will automatically detect who is eligible for refund and then give them a refund, okay? Without you having to do anything, by the way, or without you having to have an employee go manually and see who is eligible or who is not eligible. Okay, so with that being said, let's dive in the video. Cool, so the scenario that we're gonna go over looks somehow like this. And by the way, I just wanna say here that your SaaS service or your subscription is unique. You might have multiple subscriptions, or you might have, I don't know, like each company is unique, right? So due to that fact, I cannot create like the perfect scenario for you, but I'll show you how to think with creating a scenario for your own needs or for your clients' needs, okay? And by the way, if you want this blueprint over here that you see on the screen, click the first link in the description below, join my school community, and you will find it there. Okay, so let's go ahead and create the scenario now. Cool, so the trigger is gonna be a Gmail module, and it's gonna be watch emails module. Now the folder, I would suggest that you choose all mail, and then you can have a simple filter, or you can have a Gmail filter. I would suggest Gmail filter because with Gmail filter you can have a more exact filter, right? So if we go to over here for more information, and then we go down, we will see here, search for an exact word or phrase. Now, the trigger that I would suggest you use is you receive an email from that specific email that the customer used to sign up for your subscription, because that's the most, in my opinion, one of the most controllable ways to see if that person is eligible or not. Otherwise, you can choose your own trigger, of course, but this is the trigger that I'm gonna use. Okay, so search for an exact word or phrase. So in this scenario, what you would do is you would tell the people, let's say if somebody wants to request a refund, you would tell the person to email you to that specific email address that you have, like the Gmail address, right, that you have connected with make.com. If you don't know how to connect Gmail with make.com, I have a video on my channel that I'm going over that specific thing. So watch that and then continue with this video. And then what I would suggest is you say something like, if you want a refund, send me an email to blah email, and in your subject line say refund or refund for my subscription or something like that, okay? And what we will do here is, as you can see here, it says search for an exact word or phrase. So if a person emails you and then says refund request or something like that, then we should use the quotation marks and we should put the word refund in the quotation marks. So this is what we're gonna do. We go back to make.com. Here we go, refund. Fantastic. Then maximum number of results is gonna be 1. You click on OK, and then you click on OK. Cool. So second module is gonna be an OpenAI module. Is gonna be a create a completion module. The model I would suggest GPT-4o because I just love it. Then role, we're gonna have basically 2 different messages. The first role is gonna be a system role, and the message is gonna be, you will receive an email subject line and an email body which contain the word refund. Your job is to see if the person wants a refund on one of their subscriptions, or if they're talking about something else regarding refunds, okay? Because you don't want this scenario to be running when people they might send an email asking about something else and not a refund request, okay? And the desired output, if the person wants a refund, is yes. Desired output, if the person is talking about something else, is no. Okay, so oops. And then you click on add message again. Role is going to be user. Again, the system role is you write a prompt here, which prompt is just an instruction. You write an instruction here on how you want the GPT to behave like, right? And for example, the desired outputs and stuff like that. And then the user role is what the user inputs in ChatGPT so that ChatGPT basically responds. Okay. The message content here is going to be subject line over here at sender. So subject line is going to be subject over here, and email body is going to be text content. Max token is going to be 0. We click on OK. Cool. Next module is going to be a Stripe module. So you click on Stripe and then you scroll down to search customer. So we need to search that specific customer. Now over here, I have already connected Stripe with make.com. If you do not have the connection there yet, I would suggest go back to my first video, which I think is going to be literally the previous video from this video that you're watching right now. And then you're gonna find basically how to connect Stripe with make.com. Okay, so over here at email, you click on that, you scroll down to email address. So we want to find the customers in Stripe, right? So you have a customer that has a subscription that signed up with a specific email address, and then we're gonna use the email address from basically the sender email, like the person that sent the email, and we're gonna find the customers over there. You don't need to have any other filter here. And for the limit here, I would suggest you set it to a high limit, like 100 is fine, because how Stripe works is that, for example, that you have, I don't know, 5 subscriptions, and then you have one customer of yours that signed up to that subscription with their email. If they signed up to all 5 of your subscriptions with that specific email, then you will have 5 different customer IDs. Okay? For whatever reason, this is how Stripe works. Then you click on OK. Over here, we're gonna set up a filter, and we're gonna say person. Here we go. Person wants refund, and the condition is going to be the result from the previous module, which is basically the ChatGPT module, and text operator is gonna be contains case insensitive. Yes. So if ChatGPT got the email right, and then it determined that the person wants a refund, then it's gonna go through the filter. If the person does not want a refund, it's not gonna go through the filter. Okay. So we click on OK. Then we use my favorite router, and we're gonna set up 2 filters here. So the first filter is gonna be if Stripe found that customer, and the second filter is gonna be if Stripe did not find the customer. Okay, so for example, you might receive an email. Let's say the person has multiple emails, and then you might receive a cancellation or a refund email from one of the other emails that the person has, and you cannot identify that customer because they sign up with another email. Okay, so if customer exists, right, if customer is found, we're gonna set it over here on the first branch over here, and if customer is not found, then we're gonna go to the second branch. And how we're gonna determine that is we're gonna say customer found, and then the condition is going to be customer ID exists, and then customer not found is going to be customer not found. It's going to be customer ID does not exist, and then we'll continue from here. All right, so next is going to be a Stripe module, and it's going to be list payment intents. So a payment intent is basically that a person intends to pay for something in the future. Like, let's say if a subscription is there, the person intends to pay again in 1 month, etc., etc. So we're gonna set over here customer ID from the third module, okay, and then limit. Just leave it at 100. It's fine. Over here, as you can see, I don't have any data, but we're gonna introduce some data very shortly. Okay. All right, so now next module is gonna be a Stripe module, and we're gonna do an API call, right? So again, API is the connection between platforms, in this case, make.com and Stripe, okay? And call is basically you initiate a connection over there, or you initiate for something to happen at that moment. So It's gonna be a make an API call, and then we're gonna go to Stripe API documentation. And what we wanna do is we wanna list subscriptions. Okay, so we go over here under subscriptions, we go to list subscriptions, and then we see over here that the URL is gonna be v1/subscriptions, and it's gonna be a get action. Okay, because I mean, there are different actions. There is get, there is post. Post means that you send something to Stripe. We don't need to send anything to Stripe. We need to get the subscriptions from Stripe. Okay, so we go to URL over here. We paste that without the initial slash in the beginning. This is how it works. And the reason that I say that this is how it works is because I went to make.com, basically the Stripe module in make.com, in make.com's documentation, and then over here at make an API call. I mean, to be honest, over here it says, for example, /v1 / charges, but then I scroll down more and then I saw that there is no slash in the beginning, there is no / here. I mean, you can try it out. I just think that it didn't work for me when I did it, but anyways, you can try it out. So we go back to make.com, and then the method is going to be get. We don't need any headers when the method is get. And then the only thing that we need to specify is that we need to list the subscriptions for that specific customer. So we need to go over here at query string, then you go to add item over here, and the key is going to be customer, and the value is going to be, you're going to go back to module number 3, and then you're going to click on customer ID. Then you click on OK, and you're good to go. So let's try it out until this point. So what I did before the video, before I started shooting the video, is that I sent an email. I have already an active subscription with one of my emails to myself. And then I send an email from that email address that I have the active subscription with to basically have a refund. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click over here, then choose where to start, then select the first email. So I'm gonna choose the first email over here. I'm gonna click on OK, and then run once, and let's see what happens. Cool. Here we go. So what happened is we found the email that says refund. ChatGPT got the email, right? And then the result was yes, because the person wanted the refund. As you can see here, basically what I did is the subject line was refund, and then the email body was refund my subscription. So based on this over here, this little thingy that we put over here in place, then make.com basically got that email. Okay, and then it went through the filter because ChatGPT said yes, and then we found the customer, and then that customer over here, it says list payment intents, right? So with that specific email, I had created 3 different subscriptions to myself just for these video purposes. So if we click over here, so basically we received 3 payment intents over here. One payment intent was for, the amount was basically 60 over here. What this means is for 60 cents. Okay, because again, if we go to payment intent API documentation in Stripe, and we scroll down here, it says that, for example, for $1, it always converts to cents. So for $1, it's going to be 100. And for 50 cents, it would be 50, basically. This is basically 60 cents. This is $2.37. And this is for $1. Cool. So we found the payment intents. We go to the next module, which is specifically to list out the subscriptions. And if we open them up over here, for example, operation number 3, and we try and open the body, it's empty because the subscription, basically in the last video, I showed how to automatically cancel the subscription. So this is canceled. Operation number 2 is also canceled, which was for this was for $2.37. Operation number 3 was for $1, but the only subscription that we have data for is the subscription which the amount is basically 60 cents. With that subscription, we have data, so we can continue the scenario with that specific subscription. Next, we're going to introduce another router, And then we have two different possibilities. Okay, so the first one is going to be if we did not find any subscription, if the customer was an actual customer of yours, but they don't have like an active subscription. We're going to say no subscription found, and the condition is going to be cool. So the filter is going to be no subscription found, and the condition is going to be data. So in this case over here, if we open it up, we have data, right? But if you don't find any subscription, then you will not have any data. And how it's going to look like is going to be data equal to this. Okay. If you have this, basically you don't find any data regarding the subscription. We click on OK, and then if data from the list subscription, which was this one, so if there is no data, we continue on that. If we find data, then we continue over here. Cool, so next module is going to be Gmail module, and we're going to find the send an email basically module. Then over here at add the recipient, you want to add, you want to scroll down, and then you want to find sender email address. Okay, so you find that, and then subject is going to be, I don't know, whatever you want, but you can say something like, thank you for sending us an email regarding your refund. And then content is going to be something like this. Hey, name, so sender name, hey, sender name. Looks like you don't have any active subscriptions with that email address. Please check again and make sure that you send us an email from the correct email address, best your company name, team. Now we send this email out to the person because we have determined from the very beginning that the trigger to this specific scenario is basically an email received that in either the subject line or in the body, in the email body, we have basically the word refund. You would send something else if you have another trigger to the scenario. You can set your own trigger, but I'm just showing you here how to think about it and how to basically create your own scenario. So you click on OK, and then we're good with that. And then the next scenario is gonna be an Airtable module. Create a record module. Now I don't have an Airtable base created specifically for this, but what I would suggest is you use something like Airtable, or you can use even like Google Sheets or something like that, so that you can log, so that you can report that that person wanted a refund and that email address was not found and stuff like that. Okay, fantastic. So this is it regarding that. So next step is gonna be what I would suggest is if a person wants a refund, logically he wants to cancel their subscription. Okay, so what I would suggest is you basically put in place a cancel subscription module. So how you would do that is you go to Stripe, then you go to make an API call, and then we go to Stripe documentation again, and then we have to find subscription. So we scroll down, and then we go to cancel subscription, and we take this little string of characters. The action is going to be delete. So we go back to make, and then over here at URL, we drop V1 subscriptions, and the ID, we would replace it with, over here you go to data, and then you click on the ID of that specific subscription. Method, we said that it's going to be delete. So you click on delete, then you don't need any headers again, and then you click on OK. Now, next module is where the magic starts. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a tool which is gonna be set multiple variables. Okay, and we're gonna set two different variables in this case. One way that you could do that, you would have like a policy that if the person wants to cancel the subscription within the first 7 days or 14 days or something like that, or 30 days, then they can, and after that then they cannot. 30 days, I think it's a bit too much because you probably have like monthly cycles, but anyways. So how are we gonna determine if that person basically sent an email within those 7 days in this case? Okay, so we're gonna set two different variables. So variable name is gonna be start time of subscription, and then variable value is going to be, we scroll down, we go to data, and then where is it? Here we go. So created. Okay, so you click on created, and this will show us when the subscription was created. Now you see here a bunch of characters like 1725. Like, what is this, right? So I'm gonna tell you exactly what this is. So we'll go back to this one. Let's go back to this module over here. So we go to operation number 1, which is the active subscription, body data 1, and then here at created, let's take this number, and this is called basically an epoch time number. Okay, this is how many seconds have passed from January 1st of 1970. Why? No idea, but somebody had this fantastic idea to create this, basically this way of measuring time. So if we go to epochconverter.com and then we drop the number here, timestamp, so it says Monday 2 September 2024, which is 6 days ago, which is the time or the exact basically moment that I created that subscription. So based on this, I would be qualified for a subscription in this case. We'll go back to make, and then cool. So this is the first variable that we're gonna set, and the second variable is now time, and the variable value, we're gonna go to this little calendar over here, and we're gonna click on timestamp. You can see here it says Unix timestamp, number of seconds since midnight, January 1st, 1970 GMT time. If you click on now, it's gonna be the current date and time. Okay, you don't want that because you're gonna have something like basically 8th of September, 8 o'clock and stuff like that. You don't want that. You want the exact timestamp. Okay, cool. Now we'll click on OK. And the next one, we're gonna add a router. Cool. And on the first leg, we're gonna say less than 7 days, so refund the subscription, and the condition is going to be now time, then you go to over here to this math functions minus start time of subscription over here, and then you're gonna change that to no text operators. You scroll down, you scroll further down, and then over here numeric operators, less than or equal to 604,800, which is 7 days in seconds. Okay, so that means now time, like the amount of seconds that have passed from that date, minus the start time of subscription, which is less, right? If that is less than this number, it means that it's less than 7 days, which means that the person is eligible for a refund, and then you're gonna go ahead and give them the refund. And the same, or actually similar, we're gonna set a similar filter over here, which we're gonna say more than 7 days, don't refund subscription, and the condition is gonna be again now time. We go to math functions minus start time of subscription. We go down to numeric operators, and it's gonna be greater than just greater than, because we selected less than or equal to. So if it's going to be equal to, literally the person is going to be on that exact second. That is going to confuse the scenario. So we're going to just go with greater than, and we're going to say again the same amount of time. Now if it is 14 days, of course the amount of seconds is going to be different, so you need to adjust that. Cool. So if we're gonna go ahead and refund the subscription, over here we're gonna add a module. This is gonna be a Stripe module, make an API call, the URL, let's see what the URL is going to be. Again, we go back to Stripe documentation, and then we go with, actually you go to create a refund. Then you take this, which is again V1 refunds, it's a post function, and then over here it says, when you create a new refund, you must specify a charge or a payment intent object. Object is, you see all of this very weird stuff over here. Object is, it's basically this thingy, which it specifies something very specific. In this case, it's the ID of a refund, object is a refund, the exact amount, etc., etc. Okay, so it might look very complicated, but it's actually not that complicated. The currency is USD, so it's like a very specific specification. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go ahead with the payment intent object. All right. So what we're gonna do, and as you can see here, if we scroll down, we say payment intent equals that. Okay, this is like just a random example. So we're gonna take the exact string of characters, and then we're gonna go to Stripe over here. We're gonna change the method to post, and then the cure string is gonna be, the key is gonna be payment intent. Make sure that I don't have any spaces before that, and we scroll down to list payment intents, and the value is going to be that payment intent ID. So we click on payment intent ID, and we click on OK, and we're good to go. So next one is going to be a Gmail module, and it's going to be send an email module. I'm not going to go over it. Basically, in this video, I'm just showing you the like the way to do it and how to think about it. You basically tell them that their subscription is canceled and they have the refund. Okay, cool. And then what I would do is I would add an Airtable module, create a record, and then you will have to log that specific person that you gave them the refund and stuff like that. Okay. All right. And if more than 7 days have passed, like basically your limit for refund eligibility, then what I would do, or what I would suggest you do, is you add a Gmail module, and then it's gonna be a send an email. Cool. The recipient is going to be email address. You scroll down, and then you find sender again, email address. The subject line is gonna be automatic response to your refund request, and basically the content is gonna be something like that. So let's break it down. Hello, sender name. We received your refund request. According to our records, your subscription started on, look at this. This is almost like alien language, right? So it's gonna be on date. Yeah, you go to Stripe module from the Search Customers module, which is number 3. Then you scroll down and you see created over here. So your subscription started on basically that time, and over here we format the date. So we take our date here, right, the date that it started, and then we format it to day, month, year, hour, minute, UTC, specifically for UTC time, and then we say UTC here, and the day you requested the refund is the timestamp, like that specific timestamp that we have right now, and we format that to our now UTC UTC date, basically. Unfortunately, since more than 7 days have passed since your subscription became active, and our policy states that refunds are only eligible within the first 7 days, you're not eligible for a refund. If you believe there has been a mistake, please let us know. Best regards, Elite Architects team. You can review our refund policy here. Okay. All of this stuff are basically HTML language, and it's for the email to be formatted nicely and correctly. Cool. So we click on OK. And that's pretty much it on this side. The only thing that we have to that we have to take care of over here is customer not found. Okay, so in this case, if customer was not found, but that customer requested a refund, what you would do is you would go to an OpenAI module, then you would click on create a completion. Model is going to be a GPT-4o model again. Add message for role, again, it's going to be system. And as you can see over here, it says, you will receive an email subject line and an email body. Your job is to see if the person who sent the email sounds frustrated, so we can get a manager involved to solve her problem. Desired output, if the person is frustrated, yes, person sounds frustrated, then expand on why. Desired output, if the person is not frustrated, no. Okay. Now, the reason for that is because if the person wants a refund, but the customer is not found, and they use, for example, a wrong email address, then we can just send them an automated email saying, hey, basically we didn't find you as a customer. Make sure that you send the refund or the cancellation request from the correct email address. But if the person starts becoming frustrated, then we want to send basically a message to the customer service team and say, hey, this person sounds frustrated, handle that. Okay, cool. So this is going to be the first message content, and the second one is going to be, again, the role is going to be user, and the message content is going to be subject line, email body. And for subject line, we're going to scroll down and we're going to find subject over here, and then email body, we're going to find basically text content. Max tokens, we're going to set it to 0, and then we click on OK. And over here, we're going to introduce another fantastic router, right? Let me just auto-align everything over here. Fantastic. And then the two different filters that we're going to put here is customer frustrated. And the condition is going to be the result from the previous module contains case insensitive yes. So if it contains yes, customer is frustrated, and then customer chilled. So condition is going to be result from the last one is contains case insensitive no. We click on OK. And then what we're going to do here is, for example, let's say that you're using Slack for your whole team. What you're going to do is create a message, select from the list. Let's say it is a private channel. And let's say that you have a channel called subscriptions. And the text is going to be alert. We scroll down and we say sender name, basically the email address, is frustrated, resolve as soon as possible. Okay, cool. We click on OK. And then if customer is super chilled, what you would do is you would create basically another Gmail module, send an email to that specific email address. So again, you scroll down, you click on the email address of the sender, like the sender's email address. You click on that. Subject line can be something like, looks like there was an error with the cancellation of your subscription. And then content can be something like this. Hey, sender name, we can't find an active subscription with the email address that you're sending this email from. Please log into the email address that you signed up with and resend us this email. Best your company name team. And over here, what I would do is I would take this, I would throw it in ChatGPT, and I would say convert that to HTML. And then whatever you receive, actually, let me just do this. So I drop this here, and then I say convert the above to HTML. Cool. So we copy that, we go back to make, and then we paste this here. and then again we would change that to the sender name. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. I think this can solve a very big problem in like refunds, automatic refunds, cancellations, and stuff like that. Again, if you want to see automatic cancellations and automatic cancellation scenario, then watch the previous video that I have on this channel. And yeah, for this specific blueprint, if you want that blueprint over here so that you can have it and import it in your make.com account, then join the school community. First, link in the description below. You will find it there. And if you're looking for somebody to install systems like that in your company, then click the third link in the description below, schedule a call with us, and then we're gonna see how to help you out. Okay, so with that being said, hopefully you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.